Here we are in British Columbia in a place called Nanaimo, and here we can see these petroglyphs. They are a fine example of the First Nations artistic work. How old are they and why were they drawn? Theories abound to how old they are. Some were carved as recently as 1846 and witnessed by the European settlers. So they could be a couple of hundred years old. However, some of the glyphs that look like this one's a seahorse over here, a sea wolf, maybe a fish. They were carved into this rock here possibly as long ago as 4,000 years. It's thought that the sea levels have fluctuated over time and they have risen about 6 meters. And if that is the case, it does make them 4,000 years old. In Alaska, some of the petroglyphs there can be up to 10,000 years old. So really, when we look at these ancient carvings, we're looking deep into the psyche of our ancient ancestors. We can see figures of humans, we can see fish, and like I said earlier, we can see sea wolves and possibly seahorses. To our ancient ancestors, this was sacred space. This was holy space. And we look around and we can see gigantic trees. This is a place where the land, the seas, meet earth. And petroglyphs, interestingly so, are always associated with water, lake and rivers and the sea. That's where they're found by. Those that think petroglyphs are much younger than 4,000 years old and say they're about 2,000 years old, for example, say that they couldn't have been old because they were carved by the sea for the creatures of the sea. By that I mean they were carved close to the shoreline and the Pacific Ocean used to lap against them, washing the shamanic intent into the ocean. Are they shamanic then? Quite possibly. I really do feel though that when we look at these petroglyphs, we are casting our eyes back thousands of years into the past. And to be quite truthful, I don't think they're 2,000 years old. I think, like Alaska, they could up to be 10,000 years old.